Film is on now.
Okay, I'm going to TP you here.
Okay,
You're going to get a tour.
love it. We are interviewing Carol Meredith, who leads the. Tell us what you lead, Carol, and how it came about.
Okay. The Spirit Light Dance Company. It came about, about 12 years ago when we actually formed, and we have been performing continually ever since. We have a couple of really big shows every year, but then we have smaller ones that are called our dancers who actually create. We have dancers that are at all levels of performing, and so on a showcase type show, you'll see advanced people who've been here for a long time and others who are just beginning. So we have a range, and it's a constant school of arts, basically, where they come in knowing nothing and to the point where they're actually doing major choreography for our large shows. So that's what we are.
Can you tell me where we're standing right now? I mean, this
Right
looks
now, we're standing
gorgeous.
in. This is the front of our theater. It's at Rockcliffe University. It's called the Theater of Light, and I'm facing the theater. But if you turn around, this is the Hall of Fame, and in
Oh,
here, if you'll follow me in here, this is the wall of our dancers over here and our admin. We do have an admin. We have lots of help. There's about probably 8 to 10 people that are behind the scenes for every show that we do. So all of our dancers are here on this wall, and our choreographers are on this wall over here. And after one of our members create a dance for a showcase show, then they get to have their picture on the choreographer wall over here.
wow. So
And
tell me SLDC, just say that again. What is SLDC?
SLDC means Spirit Light Dance Company. And I passed you a note card that explains our philosophy. We engage in entertainment that is very positive, uplifting, with the intent to trigger emotion, positive emotion. Most of the things that we do are very uplifting. Well, you saw yesterday the type of thing that we do.
Welcome to the Theatre of Light. Thank you for joining us today as we present Phoenix Rising, specially created for Rockcliffe and the Virtual World's Best Practices in Education conference. We enter spring looking for positivity and inspiration.
It was brilliant. Now, can you say tell me about that show? It was a custom show.
Yes, it was done for Rockcliffe University Conference, for the Phoenix Rising Conference, and so we tried to tailor something that would go along with that theme of going from where you are to where you want to be, as either an individual or a group, whatever it is. So the dancers chose music that would be appropriate to express that attitude, and each one of the dancers that you saw yesterday, all the dancers, the choreographers, they do choose their own music, they do their own choreography, but then I highly critique it. It doesn't go on the stage unless I approve it.
How did you
So,
learn choreography?
well, I started dancing when I was 7 years old, and by the time I was 16, I was the principal dancer with a ballet company. So I've been doing this my whole life.
Wow.
I started teaching at 14, and I have taught continually until the 90s. I am just before my 80th birthday,
Now,
and I'm still doing it.
how do you teach dancers in a virtual environment platform?
Well, first off, they have to have the desire. They have to have the desire. They have to understand the tools. The first thing you do with a dancer who thinks they want to choreograph in SL is they have to use tools. You can't just move your body. You've got to know how to use a dance HUD of some sort. There's several of them available in SL. We have our own tools that were created by Kiko Heckroth. He's one of our members, and they're only available through SLDC. And but they're all run similar in that they have to learn how to put the animations in the HUD, and they have to learn how to trigger them. They have to learn how to buy animations. I mean, it's a long process to get to the point where you can begin to choreograph. You also have a mover that moves your avatar as well as the animator HUD that moves changes the animation. So there's a lot to learn before you get to the point where you turn the music on and say, okay, what am I going to do next? Then you have to learn how to. I tell my dancers that one of the most important things as a virtual world dancer is that you have got your number one job is to hold the attention of your audience. It's not so much about dancing as it is, what do I do to do good choreography and avoid them wanting to get that drink of water or have that cup of coffee, and then you lose them. And so they learn real early how to do that, how you manipulate your dancer and how you move them on the stage to draw constant attention to what the audience is seeing. So it's a process. It takes a while.
How long did it take you to learn to do this in a virtual environment? You talked about heads-up displays, you talked about animations, the animator hub, the animator mover, much less putting it all together.
Well, what was interesting for me is that I'm a real-world dancer. I'm used to dancing with a ballet company, or, I ran a school for many years, so I knew how to do it in the real world. What was difficult was figuring out how to take that information and make it possible to do it here. And it was not easy. It took a long time for me to do that. But I never compromised good choreography for the limitations of our tool. Somehow I would figure it out. And there were some few of us old timers here that used a simple HUD that was mostly used for an AO HUD, and we filled it with animations. And if I had 5 groups of dancers, I could either have 5 different HUDs on my screen, or I could train 4 other people to do little parts here and there, so that they had to understand the music, they had to understand where they were on the stage. I mean, it was very complicated in the early days, but if you look back at our work, you will see that the framework of the choreography hasn't changed. It's just gotten easier, because now I have a HUD that will operate 9 groups at one time, and I only have to have 1 HUD on my screen, and I don't have to have any help doing it. So if it makes it easier for me, it makes it easier for all of my dancers as well. If they have a group of dancers that they want to have 3 or 4 doing this and 3 or 4 doing that, and somebody else doing something else, they can control all that from their own dance HUD now.
Where did you told me you were drowning? I would not lend a hand. I've seen your face before, my friend.
So it's been an evolution of the tools that are available to let us do the things that we do.